Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a one brand tutorial featuring Makeup Revolution. You guys requested this, so here it is. I'm super excited because I love Makeup Revolution. It's definitely a really great, affordable brand. I purchased all of these things on Ulta's website and I got a lot of really great things. Some of these things I've tried before, others I haven't, so I'm really pumped. And I just want to quickly mention that I, for the most part, have everything Makeup Revolution, but there are some things that they don't have for a full face. So they don't have lashes, they don't have eyeliners, they don't have mascara. So I'm gonna like improvise and use other products, but I would say 90% of these products are Makeup Revolution for a full face. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I know this video is going to be super long, so you know what to do. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. There will be a link for you guys if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. And I don't really have anything else to say, but I hope you liked the video, and let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have the Makeup Revolution brow pomade. I have this one in the shade medium brown. It literally looks identical to the Anastasia brow pomade. I used this the other day, and I will say that this is a lot lighter than Anastasia's medium brown, so I would probably need like a darker shade. So like if you are, for example, medium brown in the Anastasia one like myself, in this pomade, the Makeup Revolution one, you're probably gonna need like dark brown because I feel like they run a little bit light. So when I used it the other day, I wasn't like too fond of it just because I like my brows to look a little bit darker now than I did before. Just because my hair is so dark, I don't really like them to look too light. But I'm still gonna use it today again and just give it another shot. I'm gonna use a clean angled brush, and this one is from e.l.f. It's just the duo brush that they have. So just dipping in here, just wanted to let you guys know that the Anastasia product is a little bit more creamy than this one. This one is a little bit more of a waxy consistency, so just a little FYI. But it does work. It's just, yeah, it's definitely a little waxy. Like when you apply it on your brows, I feel like it instantly kind of makes your brow hairs kind of mattify together, if that makes sense. Like the Anastasia one is definitely a little bit more creamy, but it does do the job, as you can see. Alright, my brows always look different. I don't know, I just can never get them to look exactly the same every single time. They always look different, especially this one. I hate this little brow, it's so annoying. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up my brows like always, and I'm gonna be using the Makeup Revolution. Okay, let me not say Makeup Revolution after everything, because this is Makeup Revolution. If it's not Makeup Revolution, I'll let you guys know. But this is the new concealer. I just did a review on this like last week. It's the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer, and this one I have in the shade C7. In that video, I had the shade C6, and I think this is going to match me so much better. It looks a little bit more neutral, and yeah, so I'm excited to use this color. I'm going to use a little flat concealer brush from BH Cosmetics just to clean up my brows like I always do. I pretty much just outline the bottom of the brows. You guys have seen me do this like a million times, but if you're new to my channel, this is how I do it. Okay, so Makeup Revolution has a ton of brand new eyeshadow palettes, which I'm sure you guys have seen like all over their social media. They look like dupes for higher end palettes. So this first one is called the Reloaded Iconic Division palette. It kind of reminds me of the Subculture from Anastasia. You can see the color scheme is pretty similar. I haven't played with this one at all, but I think I'm definitely going to be using this one today. I'm kind of feeling a bold look. The other one is the Reloaded Iconic Newtrals. This one is a lot of like pink and orange colors, and this one kind of, I don't know what this exactly reminds me of. You guys will let me know down below, I'm sure. And the other one is the iconic Vitality palette. Okay, this one reminds me of the, what is it called? Modern Renaissance. I just had a brain fart. Yeah, Modern Renaissance palette. I did use a couple of these shades the other day, and I wasn't like blown away, but it worked, you know what I mean? And this one is the Iconic Fever. So I guess this one kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I don't own that palette, but it's a little bit more of a less toned down version than the other one. Okay, so I'm gonna, I guess, try to like play with all of them a little bit, like take a couple different shades out of each. But I'm gonna start off with this one right here, which is again the Iconic Division palette. And oh, I almost forgot to prime. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. I'm gonna just use the concealer that I used to carve out my brows, just to prime my lids. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm gonna start off by just setting my lid. I'm gonna use this shade right here. It's like a really neutral beige color. A lot of pigment coming on there. So I like that because it kind of just is pretty much the same skin tone as mine, so it just evens and cancels everything out. So I'm going to use the NYX blending brush. Love this brush. I got it at Ulta. And I'm going to start off by taking this light peachy orange color, tapping off the excess, and I'm gonna just start applying that right into my crease. Really light shade, kind of like a creamsicle color. Okay, so I'm just building the shade up. Okay, so once you build it up, it does show up a little bit more. Oh yeah. I guess you kind of have to like get through that first layer of eyeshadow. Okay, I'm gonna jump into this palette, the Iconic Vitality palette, which is like the Modern Renaissance dupe. And I'm gonna pick up this shade right in here. And these palettes were $15. Pretty much just blending that right into where I just applied that other color. I don't really feel like this is doing much to the shade, but okay. Okay, I'm like dipping into all the palettes. I'm gonna take the Iconic Fever palette and I'm gonna use this orange color right in here. Just because I just want a little bit more orange in here. I feel like it looks a little, yeah. Okay, so far the colors are nice. You have to build them up. There isn't a ton of fallout, which is great. So what I'm gonna do next is just go ahead and take this beautiful teal color. I'm kind of nervous because you guys know I'm always in my comfort zone. It's really pigmented just from touching it, and it feels pretty smooth. So I'm gonna just apply that all over my lid. I'm gonna use this flat one from BH Cosmetics, and I'm gonna just dig in here. I'm nervous. I always get nervous doing bold looks on camera because I'm like, is it gonna be good? Or, okay, there's fallout with this shade, as you can see. I'm gonna just pack that on. Okay, so this color is definitely splotchy. As you can see, it's definitely not as vibrant as it looks in the pan. And there's definitely a lot of fallout in this one. I'm just gonna build it up. And I'm only concentrating this color on the lid, and I know it looks really sloppy and crazy right now. I'm gonna blend once I'm all done. I'm gonna just blend now because I'm getting nervous. I'm gonna use the NYX blending brush that I was using earlier, and I'm gonna kind of blend that out in the crease. I'm not really obsessed with this shade, to be quite honest with you. It's not really rich. It's really splotchy. I hope that you can see that. It's not really vibrant. I don't know. I'm just not really impressed with this palette so far. Like, it's nice. Like, the colors, I was able to build some of them up, but like this shade is just kind of like meh. And I'm like really trying to build it up, and I feel like it's just not really there for me, like at all. I feel like the more that I'm adding more color, the more I'm kind of just like fading the product away, if that makes sense. Like, it's not really doing much for me. And there's a lot of fallout. Like, if that bothers you, like fallout, then you're not gonna like this palette. All right, you guys, this is not working. I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't like that shade whatsoever. So I'm gonna just wipe this off because this is not cute. Okay, that was a hot mess, you guys. Like, I don't even know what that was. But we're gonna just start over. I re-primed my lids, and I'm gonna just go ahead and reset. I'm gonna use this color right up here. So I'm gonna keep using this palette because I want to use this green color right in here. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna just start off with another neutral transition shade. So I'm gonna just use these two colors in the palette with my Wet n Wild blending brush. I'm just gonna blend them in the crease. To be quite honest with you guys, like so far, like yeah, the colors are blending and they work, but I'm not really too impressed with these eyeshadows. I feel like for $15, I mean, obviously it's a good value just considering all the colors that you get, but they're not like amazing quality eyeshadows. I would rather just recommend to you guys like the original Modern Renaissance palette instead of like getting something that isn't really the best quality. You know what I mean? Like, just spend a couple extra dollars because I feel like the quality of Anastasia is really just unbeatable. There are some really great alternatives to that palette, but I don't really think these are it for me. Let's do this again. I'm gonna just take and build up the crease a little bit more. I'm gonna use this brown color right here. It's like a rich chocolate shade, and this is a Morphe M573. Okay, this color seems a little bit more pigmented than most. With the other side of that brush, I'm going to use this deep purple color right in here. And just build that up a little bit more. Okay, I also feel like these colors are a little better than the lighter transition colors. I feel like those are a little difficult to build up. I mean, like, they work, but these are definitely more pigmented. I'm gonna use this flat shader brush from ColourPop. I'm gonna pick up this green color, which looks really, really pretty. It's picking up product on here. I'm not gonna wet the brush because I want to see how it is without anything. It's not really even showing up. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna need to wet this. So I'm really digging in here quite a bit, and I'm gonna use the Pro Fix Illuminating Spray that they have. Okay, so I feel like that helps a little bit, but you really need to like build this up a lot to get it to be like visible. Like, it works, but it's definitely a, you know, a process. Picking up a Morphe E17 brush, I am actually going to take, I want to use this teal color, but I'm kind of nervous because it just didn't work when I was trying to pack it on. So I'm like, is it gonna work if I try? Let me just go with it. I'm gonna use a different brush to try to like add this to the outer crease. Yeah, I do not like this color at all. It's like really like a blotchy shade. Like, it's just not cute at all. I feel like the eyeshadows definitely work better with white hair brushes, especially the matte shades, whereas these are like synthetic brushes. I feel like it doesn't really pick up as much product, and when you try to blend it out, it just doesn't really work as well as using a white haired brush. So that's from my observation from using this palette so far, like right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do my liner and lashes off camera just because Makeup Revolution doesn't have any. So I'm using the V Rose Beauty lashes in the style Bambi. I love these, they're so pretty. And I'm also gonna do some winged liner with the NYX matte liquid liner. So I'm gonna go ahead, do this really quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, lashes are on. I feel like it looks a little bit better now that like the lashes and the eyeliner are on. But anyways, I still just feel like this eyeshadow is like not blending the way that I want it to. Like, it just, I don't know. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and use this Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray. This is technically like a setting spray, but I'm gonna use it now kind of like as a primer spray just because they don't have a primer, so I'm gonna just improvise. They also don't have foundation, so I'm gonna just use concealer today as foundation. So I'm gonna just start off by using, oh, you know what? I do have a primer. Just kidding. I forgot about this. The Ultra All Day Prime and Anti-Shine Balm. It just looks like this and comes with a little thing like that. And then this is what the compact looks like. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is so soft. Like, it feels like a countertop. Like, that's how soft it feels. So what I'm gonna do is just take this, because the plastic was on there. That's why it feels so soft. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so it's like a balm consistency. Mally Beauty has a balm that looks like this. You can get that at Ulta. I tried it before. It wasn't my favorite, but I'm gonna just use some of this and apply it to my face. No, it's probably way too much, but whatever. It's definitely thick consistency. So I'm going to just use the concealer like I mentioned. I'm going to do also some contouring because I did get a darker shade as well. So I'm going to use the shade C7, and I'm just going to apply this pretty much where I feel like I need it the most, which is definitely going to be underneath my eyes. For sure, especially since we have like some pretty heavy eye makeup. Oh, I love this shade so much better. I do have a couple little acne spots. So I'm going to just apply some of there, my chin. So we're basically using the concealer sort of as foundation, pretty much. I do feel like this concealer, like I talked about this in my first impression video with this concealer, I do not think this is full coverage right off the bat. You have to build it up to get it to be full coverage. So that's kind of just like my take on it. I do not think it is like an exact dupe because you do have to build it up. It's a decent alternative if you don't want to spend that much money on the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm definitely going to need to add more, so that's what I'm gonna do. You guys know the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Concealer, that is my favorite. That is the best dupe that I have found for the Tarte Shape Tape. So then I'm gonna do a little cream contouring, just because I feel like since I just have concealer, my face is like flat. So again, I have the shade C13. This is a really nice warm colored concealer, which I personally really like. I know a lot of people say it has to be cool tones when you contour, And I'm like, there's no rules to makeup, but I mean, it's personal preference. I will say this concealer does blend out really quickly. I actually really like that concealer. That shade for me, I think right now is perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just set everything. So I love the banana powder that they have. It comes in this little container. This is amazing and it doesn't have any flashbacks, so it's really good if you're taking pictures. Maybe if you have a wedding or something, it's amazing. So since this one is so good, I was on Ulta's website and I saw the luxury baking powder, and this is the lace one. So I was like, let me give this a try. It's literally identical to the banana powder. It's just, it looks like a little bit of a different color, as you can see. So I'm gonna use the lace one today. I got this Ultra contouring palette. It looks like this, and I feel like I need to set the rest of my face. So I'm going to use this Wet n Wild powder brush. It's the P70 brush. I'm going to use a little bit of this banana color right in here, like just a smidge, and I'm just going to lightly dust this on my cheeks because I feel like if I don't set, everything's just going to be super blotchy. I'm going to use the shade right here in the middle because it looks the most wearable for me. So I'm going to start off by using this e.l.f. powdered brush. It's a pointed powder actually. I used this palette the other day and it was pretty nice. I really love Makeup Revolution's single blushes and their blush palette. So pretty. I love that palette. I unfortunately don't have that with me right now because, as you guys know, or if you don't know, I live in my dorm on campus, so I don't have all my makeup here with me. A lot of my stuff is still back at home. I'm going to use a Morphe R10 brush with that same color from the Revolution palette. I'm going to take that and kind of just chisel the cheeks a little bit more and just really concentrate the product. Clean that up a little bit, taking the banana color. This is a Wet n Wild P65 brush. This baked bronzer looks so pretty, like it could be a blush. This one is the Vivid Baked Bronzer in the shade Rock On World. It looks stunning. Like I definitely see myself using this more so like in the summer to bronze, just because I'm pretty fair skinned right now. So I'm going to use it as blush today because I feel like since it's warm, it kind of goes with the eyes. I don't know, it's pretty. So I'm going to use this stippling brush from TJ Maxx. It's the Ollie and Olivia brush. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh wow, this is definitely super bronzy and glowy. This is like right up my alley. Like this is what I love. Like warm terracotta, like blush bronzer colors. Oh my gosh, this is so pigmented, but it's so pretty. Okay, for highlighter, I have quite a few options. I got the Soph X highlighter palette. It looks like this. I'm obviously not going to use these colors right here because they're just like not for this look. I like this gold shade. Ooh, that's stunning. I'm probably going to use that. Then I also got the Ultra Pro Glow palette. These look a little bit more subtle, a little bit more light. Maybe I'll just mix. I mean, why not? So I'm going to start off by using this Soph palette. Soph X. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm going to use this color right in here. It's like a really pretty like yellow gold. I'm going to use my Morphe M501. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Such a smooth highlighter too. There isn't like a ton of like product going everywhere. I like that a lot. That's so pretty. I'm going to use a different highlighting brush. This one is from Shop Miss A. Let's go into this palette right here, and I'm going to take some of this shade and this color. They're like champagne colors. Okay, so I'm going to just finish up the eyes. I'm actually going to use this Soph palette again because I'm obsessed with it. And I'm just going to be taking this white color right in here, and I'm going to apply that in the inner tear duct and brow bone of my eye. And I'm going to use a Morphe E36. And I'm just going to dig in here and then spray my brush and then apply that in here. Oh, these highlighters are everything. Oh my gosh, I love this palette. I'm going to go back into the Iconic Division palette that I was using earlier, and I'm going to use some of this purple color. And I'm going to take a definer brush from Morphe, and I'm really going to press this down on my lower lash line to really smoke out the crease. Or the lower lash line. Just use the LA Girl Glide On eyeliner just to line my waterline. So for lips, I have the Retro Luxe Matte Lip Kit in the shade Bow Down. I've tried one of these last year. It was okay. It wasn't absolutely amazing, but I thought it was like pretty good, like a little drying, but doable. Kind of reminded me of the ColourPop matte liquid lipstick. So this does come with a liquid lip and also a lip liner. Final thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and set my makeup, and I'm using the Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray. Alright guys, so this is the completed look. I just want to really quickly do like a rundown on the products, let you guys know my final thoughts, what I think, etc. I'm going to start off with the products that I do really like, and then I'll get into the stuff that I'm not too fond of. So the first thing that I actually really like are the concealers. I do like these. They're super easy to blend. Are these an exact identical dupe to Tarte Shape Tape? Like I mentioned, no. You have to build it up to get it to be, you know, similar coverage to Shape Tape, but for the price, I think it's really good. I do like the concealers. They're super creamy, super blendable, and I do like the shade range. I also did really like this lace baking powder. I do prefer the banana one, but that's just personally for me and my skin tone. I think if you have a little bit lighter skin tone than me, maybe if you're more fair, or you just don't want a banana powder, this would be a good powder for you. I do really like it. It's literally identical to the banana one. It's just like a little bit lighter, but it still has like that smooth formula, which I love for under eye powders. This highlighting palette is like divine. I'm obsessed with it. It's so pretty. It's so pigmented. You can see like just how beaming that is and how smooth it was applying it in the face. And then also like the inner corner highlight. Oh, this palette is everything. This Soph X palette. Oh my gosh. You need it in your life, so this is definitely like worth trying for sure. And I can't wait to play with the other highlighters because they look really pretty, and I think for different makeup looks this is a great palette just because there's so many different shades of highlight. I also did like this one. I know that I kind of mixed both of them, but this one so far seems really good. It seems a little bit more toned down than that one that I was just talking about, just a little less like beaming, kind of more for every single day, but it is really pretty as well. It still has like that sheen to it, so I'm gonna keep playing with this and I'll get back to you. But so far I do really like the colors that I did use, but again, I'll keep you posted. This illuminating spray, I'll have to get back to you guys on this because with setting sprays, it's one of those things where you have to keep using them. I have tried another setting spray from Makeup Revolution. I really didn't feel like it did much for me. I don't really see much illuminating to it though. Like it doesn't really look like a glowy setting spray. It kind of just felt a little bit hydrating, so we'll see. Everything else, oh, almost forgot. This Vivid Baked Bronzer is freaking gorgeous. It's so pigmented though, so like you really need to have a light hand with it, but I feel like if you are like my skin tone or a little bit lighter and you go very lightly with it, it creates such a pretty blush. If you're a little bit darker, this is a perfect blush, or like to bronze the skin. I can definitely see myself using this more so in the summer. Oh, I also did like this contour kit as well. I thought this was pretty good. You do have to kind of like build them up a little bit. I forgot that there's highlighters in here as well. I didn't use those. So many highlighters, but this I like. I liked the bronzer color that I used. I thought that was really good. It blended out well, and I mean, I don't really have any issues with this. I like this palette. This is good. Everything else, I don't want to say that I didn't like it, but like I didn't. So the liquid lipstick, it feels a little drying on my lips right now. These aren't awful, but they're not amazing. They're a little sticky. They remind me of ColourPop. So if you don't like ColourPop matte liquid lipsticks, you're not going to like these. If you don't mind those, then you wouldn't mind these. You know, they're very, very similar formula. And as far as the brow pomade, it's okay. Not my favorite. I prefer the Anastasia brow pomade. I prefer the NYX Tame and Frame. This is a little too waxy for my liking. I do feel like it works. Obviously, I did my brows, but it's just not my absolute favorite consistency and formula. This Ultra All Day Prime and Anti-Shine Balm, I don't really like the way it feels on my skin, just like my bare skin. I'm gonna try to touch up with this throughout the day, and I'll get back to you guys. Like I'll use it today to touch up if I feel like I need to, but just the consistency feels like a really thick silicone base consistency primer, and I'm not really about that life. Another thing are these eyeshadow palettes. I really wanted to love these because these seem really great, like really awesome dupes. I'm not super impressed. Like I'm gonna keep using them in different colors and try to create different looks, but the shades that I did use, I'm just like, obviously I could create this look, like yeah, it worked out, but I had to like really work with the colors and really play with them. It's not something that's just like an Anastasia or like a Huda Beauty or a Wet n Wild formula where it's just like instantly you dip your brush and you blend it out. You get a lot of pigment and it's super easy to blend. These are a little challenging to work with. So right now I'm not going to recommend these to you guys because I'm just not super happy with them. If anything changes, I'll keep you posted. Let me know if you guys have tried these. Am I the only one that just wasn't super impressed? I don't know. Let me know. Yeah, that's pretty much it for all the products. I really hope this video was helpful for some of you maybe looking into buying some of their products. I'll leave everything that I use down below as well as prices if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love and appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in a few days in my next video. Bye. Okay, just kidding, I'm back. So I wanted to do a really quick check-in for you guys. It is 3:03 p.m. right now. When I was filming earlier, it was actually around 10:30ish, and then when I left, it was around 11ish because I had to go to 2 of my classes. But I wanted to just do a really quick check-in and show you guys what my makeup is looking like right now. I'm actually really impressed with it. I did get a little oily around my nose and in between my brows, but I mean, that always happens to me, like, and especially today I didn't use like a mattifying primer or like a matte setting spray, and I just used concealer and some powder, so I feel like that's just bound to happen. But it's not excessive. I've been way more oily, and today it's actually pretty warm outside here in Pennsylvania. It's like 65 degrees today, which I know for some of you who live in like really warm climates, you think that's like really cold or like freezing, but here it's like amazing weather. It's like spring weather. So anyways, it's pretty warm outside. I was sweating a little bit, like literally walking to class earlier because I was rushing, but everything looks really good. I also wanted to mention that I'm really impressed with this liquid lipstick. I have not touched it up since earlier, and it's like not fading in a nasty way. Like, you know, sometimes when liquid lipsticks fade, they get like that butthole lip is what I call it, like when it gets like really light in between the lips and then it gets like just really nasty. This looks still really good. I mean, it has faded and it is like a little dry on my lips, but it doesn't look bad at all. Like, I'm really impressed with it actually. So yeah, my eyeshadow is still in place, my highlight, everything is still in place and it stayed put, which I'm really happy with. I'm gonna just really quickly touch up using this what is it called? Ultra All Day Prime and Shine Anti-Shine Balm. I don't really think this did much for me like earlier when I applied it to my face. I mean, right now I just applied it and I feel like it's just, it feels oily. I feel like this doesn't really necessarily absorb into my skin and like absorb the oil. It feels like I'm just adding primer on top of it, and it feels really even like more greasy now than it just did before I applied that. So this for me right now, I'm gonna have to say like no. Anyways, that is it. I hope this video was helpful. Officially, that's it for this video. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in a few days in my next one. Bye!